Hey fight fans, welcome back to the Fight Book. This is the Indian accent guy back with some interesting updates from the fight world. Today we have UFC Abu Dhabi co-headliner MVP's another fight in the middleweight division against Cannonier, Usman Nurmagomedov ducking Paul Hughes, Anklaev versus Jiri Prochazka, Sean O'Malley's future clan, and a UFC 316 fighter removed after the loss. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Let's start from new UFC fight announcements, and the first fight that is announced, it is number 2 ranked bantamweight Peter Yan versus number 13 ranked bantamweight Marcus McGee. This fight was rumored from weeks, but now it is confirmed that this fight will take place at UFC Abu Dhabi July 26th card, headlined by Whittaker versus Pereira. McGee is currently 4-0 in the UFC, and Peter Yan is currently on a 2-fight win streak, taking on McGee just to stay active. It could be the co-main-event of UFC Abu Dhabi because we just learned yesterday that neither fighter from Makhachev or Aaron Pico received the contract, and UFC also offered Pico fight to Diego Lopez. So maybe UFC have some other plans and they have moved on from Mobstar versus Pico, but that is not confirmed yet. If anything gets confirmed, I'll let you know. So we move on to the next fight announcement. It is a women's strawweight bout where number 5 ranked Jessica Andrade will return, where she will try to break her 2-fight losing streak against number 11 ranked Lupi Godinez, who will be looking to get back-to-back wins. This fight is added on UFC 319 August 16 card, headlined by Duplessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. Third fight is Michael Venom Page's another fight in the middleweight division, and this time he will be taking on number 7 ranked Jared Cannonier. This fight is not confirmed, this is just a rumor, but it is a possibility. Although MVP had said before Shara Magomedov fight that he is fighting in the middleweight division just for once, but now I think he has changed his plans and he will be taking on number 7 ranked Cannonier, who is coming off his win over Gregory Rodriguez. Anyway, now move on to the biggest fight outside of the UFC, Usman Nurmagomedov versus Paul Hughes for the PFL lightweight title. Hughes tells Damon Martin in an interview that he personally texted Usman Nurmagomedov asking him for the rematch, but Usman responds that you have to win one more fight, brother. If Hughes is speaking truth, then I have lost my respect from Usman Nurmagomedov because Paul Hughes deserved an opportunity to fight for the belt in a rematch after that tough performance, but still he preferred to stay active and gave us a good finish in the headliner of UFC Belfast. He is more than deserving to fight Usman Nurmagomedov in a rematch. Anyway, now let's talk about the UFC lightweight division. Yesterday, Justin Gaethje's manager had told us that Justin Gaethje might retire if he doesn't get the title fight after UFC 317. And now responding to that, Arman Sarukian congratulates Justin Gaethje for his amazing career. He says, enjoy your retirement. Anyway, Tony Ferguson posted an AI-generated photo of him and Khabib and says he will squash the beef if Khabib coaches against him on TUF. If we're talking about Khabib, how can we forget Conor McGregor? Not only that McGregor is done as a fighter, he's also way past his prime in trash talk as well, as you can see on your screen. Now, if we talk about light heavyweight title fight between Alex Pereira versus Magomed Anklaev, Magomed Anklaev had been saying that Alex Pereira is ducking him, and now Pereira responds. He says Magomed is promoting himself by saying Pereira's name because no one knows Magomed is the champion. Pereira says he will respond when the time is right. Pereira is also asked if he will do anything different for the Anklaev rematch, and he says no, he will not do anything different. It's the same thing, just correcting some techniques. He admits that his activity in 2024 caught up to him, that's why he had lost that fight. Anyway, Jiri Prochazka potentially teased a fight news by saying on Insta that something is coming, but the champ Anklaev got him with a counter saying it's nothing but your homework because you are a nerd. Jiri claps back saying next homework is you. And now some updates after UFC 316 card. Merab Dvalishvili's head coach Jon Jones says that Sean O'Malley was just the first of many finishes to come for his fighter. He also claims that there may be knockouts in Merab's future defenses. Merab anyway received a hero's welcome in Georgia after beating Sean O'Malley at UFC 316. Sean O'Malley's coach Tim Welch says that Merab Dvalishvili was a different fighter from the first fight, and Sean O'Malley also says that Merab felt freakishly stronger in their rematch, calling Merab the bantamweight god. He also accepts that it's the most nervous he ever been before a fight. Anyway, O'Malley says that he doesn't feel sadness despite losing to Merab for the second time. He says there is definitely a little disappointment and frustration, but there is no sadness at all. It's part of the game, and that he is not taking a long layoff again. He says he is targeting a return in December, and also says that he is hyped for a 3-round fight after fighting in only 5 rounders for almost 3 years. He and his coach also talked about Joe Pyfer in their podcast, where coach revealed that Pyfer didn't even wrap tape on his hand when he went for Gastelum fight because he wanted the KO so badly. Talking about Joe Pyfer, Pyfer says that UFC should end their show and win contract system, and they should just pay fighters their guaranteed purses just like in the boxing. He says he feels anxiety before his fights because he knows he is fighting one of the best guys in the octagon, and if he loses, he will get only the half of the amount. But personally, I would say that is the reason why UFC fighters usually gives us incredible fights, and if UFC pay system was just like boxing, we would not get as much bangers as we usually get. Anyway, still there are some top level fighters who get guaranteed pay instead of show win money, just like Islam Makhachev and Israel Adesanya, but Jack Della Maddalena thinks otherwise. Anyway, JDM didn't talk about show win per split, but he did talk about the bottom fighters pay and the top fighters pay. He says if the bottom guys gets paid as much as the top guys, there will be no incentive to get to the top, and he is right. Now let's talk about Mario Batista, who says that he would have liked to fight Cory Sandhagen next, but as Sandhagen is now getting the title shot, he would love to fight Umar Nurmagomedov at UFC 321 in October, Abu Dhabi. He says he believes Umar is the one who can get him there where he can call for a title shot. And last news from UFC 316, Ariane Da Silva is removed from the active UFC roster, just like I had told you when she had missed her weight, the Mystic Indian accent guy. Anyway, Kamaru Usman and Buckley faced off for the first time. Usman looks to show new fans why he is among the very best to ever compete inside the octagon, and he says after he beat Buckley this weekend, a fight against Islam Makhachev would be a blockbuster. Current pound for pound king versus former pound for pound king. Anyway, his opponent Buckley also talked about Islam Makhachev, and he says Makhachev is not a big threat at 170, but the fighters like him, Ian Gary, Shavkat Rakhmonov and Sean Brady are the threat for Islam Makhachev. Buckley says welterweight is currently the deepest weight class you can get into right now. And then lastly, another Indian fighter lost his fight via TKO in the first round in the Ultimate Fighter 33 Episode 3. Indian MMA fans did not get any good news in a while. Anyway, that's all in this video. Now you are again completely up to date with the fight world. Now just like this video, share your thoughts in the comment section because your feedback is important to me, and then do whatever you want.
Damn, that was a badass fight. Don't be down, kid. You'll be back. Great fight, great heart, unbelievable chin, unbelievable fight. Yeah, congrats.